we have to check that layer, sorry. So what we're gonna do now is we just make another gradient. So what we're gonna do now is we will make a selection that selects our whole entire YouTube channel. So I have to zoom out a little bit. To get it done a little bit faster. Looks some sort of weird, but yeah. So what I just recognized is now we have to uncheck rounded corners. So it wouldn't look really good if we have like rounded corners on our YouTube background, because you know it's a square and it doesn't look like it has rounded corners anyways. So going to do it a little bit faster so I can zoom a little bit out. So once you reach the bottom someday, hopefully, yes, we will make again a gradient. Maybe a little bit more of the red, that should be good. Maybe some more yellow. Yes, yes. Yeah, that looks okay for me. So again, we take our brushes and we scale it on the highest level, so it's very easy for us now to make it look better. Pretty easy working here, such a big area. Again, what we're going to do is we use the zoom, so let's just fill in some blue. I think it looks good. For me, blue looks good here. Have some experience with have to collect experience with the colors, what look good, what doesn't look good. Again, we go to blur, motion blur, and we will choose the zoom again. Yeah, that maybe can take a while right now. So I'm always on the highest level on the zoom, so I don't know why, but I'm just always on the highest level because I think it looks the best. So see you when I did this. So once GIMP has run through this motion blur too, we get something like this. I didn't really make a good one because the color is turning here and nearly into something like brown, and actually wanted to have it more like red and other colors, but that doesn't matter for now because it's just an example. You can do it, of course you can do it a little bit better than me. So what we're gonna do is, now that we have our two layers, we're going to make them one. So what we're gonna do is we're going to click the layer which is under our main layer here. So we're gonna click this layer, and then we're gonna click this little arrow here, which will actually move this layer above this one, our first layer. So let's do this. And when we do this, it looks something like this. So you see that it sort of looks like our YouTube design. So we can uncheck these two layers and check this one. So we see that it sort of looks it looks like our YouTube design. So pretty good so far. But what I did in my YouTube design is I made, you know, these icons here. I put them inside my YouTube design because I work with Fruity Loops, with GIMP as you can see, and with Sony Vegas Pro 9. So how did I basically do it? It's pretty easy and actually not very hard to do so. So you just use your web browser. I use the Google Chrome by now, and we just go to Google. Then we go here to pictures, and now let's search for like a GIMP picture. So we just search for one, a good GIMP picture. Let's just say I choose this one. So you just right click on it and picture, save as, and then you just save it. I already saved one here in my download folder. So here I have my GIMP picture. So what we're gonna do is you go to data, you go to new, and you just choose an image which is actually 600 by 600 because my GIMP image is a little bit larger. So what we're gonna do now, the important thing is you go here to more options, and then we want our background color here. We're going to change that to transparent, and then you click OK. So here we have our new layer, and when we now put our GIMP picture in this, we actually see that we don't have any of this white background. So I did the same with my Fruity Loops and with my Sony Vegas icon, but what do we do now? If we don't increase the size, or we make it a little bit smaller, it would be too big. I mean, it would like be as big as one of our box, like the description box, and we don't want it. So what we're gonna do now is we're going to get our scale tool. We're just gonna click in the middle of our picture, and I figured out, for me works the best, 125 by 125. So we click on scale, and then our picture looks like this. Now we only need to go to data, save as, and then we could save it as, let's just say, GIMP. Again, we click on our data type after ending. So we would choose again a JPEG format. So we go to save. And now it would actually takes a while, but you know, we don't actually want to save the picture. Maybe I do it. Oh, come on, I do it just for you guys. We click on ignore because we don't want to have it, and we go to save. Then we have here our picture. In our folder, our GIMP picture, that actually looks black. So what went wrong actually? JPEG is a really good format, but if you want to have some transparent pictures, you have to choose another format. So what you have to choose actually is, again we go to save as, and then not JPEG. JPEG is the wrong format if you want to have transparent pictures. So what we're gonna do is we go down here and go to PNG pictures. Then you click on save. Then you can ignore it, and then you save it just because the PNG pictures actually show transparency. So it looks white here, but when we make it a little bit smaller and get it in here, you actually see that this GIMP icon is transparent. Now if you click here on your move tool, you're able to move it to the spot you want to have this GIMP icon picture thing, whatever. I don't really need it by now, so I'm just going to push Ctrl Z, which makes it actually disappear. So I'm not going to get it up here. So I don't know if you make tutorials about Adobe After Effects or something like that, so you could choose the icons and put it here or wherever you want. So we're actually nearly done. So if we have just a close look at my picture, what I did is some sort of ice font here. Type in my username. So I'm going to show you this, but I'm also going to show you another font, which is actually pretty cool. So let's just get started. We want to make a new layer. We click here on this little icon and say, yeah, it's okay. So now we have a new layer. So let's just zoom a little bit in. And we want to make our font is going down here until we reach the bottom of our YouTube design. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna click on our text tool and we're going to write a little text. So I'm typing my username in. You can also type in your username or whatever you think is good. So I'm going to make the color, I'm going to, let's say I turn it to white. That shows the effects the best. So what I did is just the letters. For each letter we're going a little bit down. And it's a little bit small and all that stuff, so we just make our text field a little bit bigger. Now we're going to make our font a little bit bigger also, so that it actually looks good. You know, maybe a little bit larger. So that was too much. That's okay for me. And now we're going to center our font. If you just click here on this little icon, it centers automatically. So what are we going to do now? I made this ice looking thing, so it's pretty cool. I think it looks great. So right now I'm going to show you how you can do that. So we're going to close this one because we don't need it. So what you're gonna do is you go to filter, then we go to noise. Here we have noise, and then we go to melt. So what sort of things you want to have here is actually up to you. I'm going to show you what I would recommendly choose. So we get this little snow effect here. Also, this is just my way I would do this. I don't know if there are other ways, but I figured it out and I think it looks pretty cool. So we just click on OK if everything is right like we want it to have, and then our font looks like this. Sort of snowy, but to be honest, not really good. So what we're gonna do is we go again on our filter, then we go to desort. No, we don't want to go to desort. Oh my god, I did, oh nonsense. We go to desort and then we go down here to wind. So what the wind actually does is